Okay, I've got a 2-pound pork loin roast, and it was a 4-pound roast, but there's just me and my husband, so I'm just going to cut it in half, which is what I've already done, and I'm going to cook 2 pounds of this roast. And I have washed my pork. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I like to wash mine. So I've cleaned it off. I've dried it with a paper towel, and I'm going to rub 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of thyme, and half a teaspoon of, I think that's all of it. But if you want to put dried rosemary instead of the fresh that I'm using, you could use half a teaspoon of that. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on the top, as much of it as you want, and rub it in. You're going to coat your roast with this mixture. Now, remember, herbs can burn very easily when you're cooking them. So when you brown this, and we're going to brown it in just a minute, you don't want your pan so hot that it burns your herbs. So try not to overheat your pan, but you do want to get it hot enough to brown the meat. And don't forget to rub the ends. They're important. You want those to taste good too. And just put all of it on there. Don't be stingy. Get those herbs all over this roast. Make sure that you rub it in real good. And let that sit for just a minute while you get your pan hot. Be right back and we'll get it cooking. Okay, I think you can see the pan. I'm going to put this roast in the pan, and it's hot, so be careful. You hear that? That's a good sound. You want it to make that sound. Now just let the pan do its work. You don't have to play with it. Don't keep rolling it. Let it get good and brown on this side. If your grease starts popping, that's too hot. Turn it down a little bit. Try to let your roast cook for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, including the ends, okay? And then also make sure that your oven is preheating to 400 degrees. Okay, while my pork loin is browning, I'm mixing up my glaze. And I'm using 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. If you want to keep it low sodium, use low sodium. 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, half a cup of apricot preserves, and about 1 tablespoon of sriracha sauce. Want a little kick in this, not too much though. We've got it all in our bowl. Oh, I need a little bit more garlic. I forgot I'm putting 2 teaspoons in here. And now you're just going to mix it real well. Get it all well combined. And after you get your pork loin browned well, you're going to brush this on to your pork loin. And it's pretty easy to mix. But that's about what it's going to look like when you get done. I don't know if you can see that. If you don't have apricot preserves, you can use honey or peach preserves. All right, now we got to turn this roast over. All right. See, you get it good and brown, but you don't want to burn it. And you should start smelling the aroma of those herbs. That's a good sign. Now, one end of your roast may stand up by itself. The other may need a little help. So keep your tongs nearby in case it needs your help standing up on that other end. And keep the pan hot, but you don't want the grease popping. If it's popping, you're going to burn those herbs. I like my little screen. It kind of helps keep the grease from popping everywhere. And you do want to use a good quality extra virgin olive oil for this. Once the roast is completely browned, you turn that off, and we're going to add a few more things. We're going to glaze the pork loin with our sauce that we mixed up. And you want to glaze the whole roast. But you don't necessarily want to do the bottom because this is sugar. Sugar will burn, and you don't want your sugar to burn. But we will get the other side glazed after we've cooked it in the oven for a little bit. Now I'm going to put a couple sprigs of rosemary on here. And I'm going to cover it with some aluminum foil and put it in the oven. Okay, we're back. I took my pork loin out of the oven. It's been in there 15 minutes. And we're going to check to see what the temperature is inside. Go right in the center. And it's supposed to be 145. This is 127, so it needs to cook a little bit longer. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to set my rosemary over there, and I'm going to turn this over. You can see it's getting kind of brown over there. Sit right over there. And we're just going to pour this glaze all over here. Let it cook in the glaze. Now we're going to put it back in our 400-degree oven for probably 10 more minutes. We'll check it in 10 and see if it's ready to come out. All right, we've got our pork loin out of the oven. Let's check the temperature. It's 146, so that's very, very good. We want it 145, but I'll take 146. Now we're going to let this rest for a little while, and then we will plate it up. So we're not going to eat dinner for a little while, and I thought I'd come in here and just sneak a little bit of this pork roast. It is very tender. And I want some of that glaze. But I'm going to soak it in that glaze a little bit. Let's see. That's good. So good. Give it a try. If you want to add a little bit of pineapple, that would be really good. If you want a little more of this glaze, dip it in the pan. It's so good. I hope y'all have a great night. And I'm going to enjoy this when my husband's ready to eat.